Hello everyone, we're watching the BWC match in the under 2000 section. This is the final four. We're watching Plasterhippytwitch and gmbmw versus heijergden and slowWifi9. If anyone wants to co-commentate, let me know. Looking for co-commentators. So gmbmw Steam is already up by about 10 seconds. But about to lose a queen. Plasterhippy seems fairly safe. Who do we have here? Hey Cabbage.
Oh,
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing fine. So congratulations on your performance as a substitute in the last open section match there. But we're watching the under 2000 section right now. Do you have the match pulled up?
Oh yeah, I do.
Nice.
Wow, it looks like slow Wi-Fi is on a ferocious attack.
Yeah, he seems to be doing fairly well. I do see a free pawn, but those are things I look for.
Yeah. Oh, he's gonna take the other free pawn instead, or maybe he just wants the king.
I think he does want the king.
Although this is slightly inaccurate. Now he needs a knight or something, or king will be pretty safe on c8.
He has to watch out for knight f3 if he loses check.
Yeah.
If a knight doesn't come, then rook d1 might be a possible continuation.
Oh, and the knight just came, so
if
he doesn't. Fortunately, it is his move, and he's up 6 seconds.
Yeah, bishop at d5 maybe to guard the knight square and also attack b7.
That's a great move. I always like it when you're able to use your bishop to both attack and defend at the same time.
And also it would attack d6, or sorry, e6.
Yeah.
So he did not play that move. And
yeah. So here, if he blocks on d3, then there's knight c4. So he does not block on d3. That's a good decision. One more knight would be really good for slow Wi-Fi. And his partner's king is on f5. Wow, what happened? What is happening on that board?
Yeah, that's a bit of a crazy position.
Having an adventure. It doesn't look like the king is going to be made at any time soon, though. Looks pretty safe there.
I wouldn't necessarily call that safe, but maybe.
And all this time, they're still up on time. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would take some horizontally moving pieces for Plasterhippytwitch. It's a reasonable move to develop the queen.
Yeah, and I don't know why slow Wi-Fi is stalling, because his only move is to take the pawn. He doesn't really have any alternatives there. He's worried about losing the queen, but the queen isn't really too bad. He can't mate with queen.
Yeah, queen is fine.
He should probably move now.
Should have moved a while ago.
Okay, well now he should definitely move. He seems frozen in fear.
Ooh, that was not the place to move.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the king had moved to the right instead, just back to the corner, I think he was completely safe. I mean, he might have had to sack a queen, but that would have been fine.
A good rule of thumb is as long as you have g7 coverage, your king is safe on h8.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so 1-0 in favor of the higher rated team.
So I believe this is first to 16. Is that right?
Yeah, that is correct. And the finals will be first to 26, which will be interesting. Wait, let me make sure of this. Let me pull up my cheat sheet.
Slow Wi-Fi. Currently waiting for a rook, but it's not really going to come. Knight at d4.
Oh, that's a great move by whatever his name is. Oh, and rook at g8 would have forced the rook, which would be potentially. Oh, and BMW blunders mate into so the other team will get on the scoreboard as well.
Nicely done. Our score is now 1-1. We're all tied up. So it's good for not seeing any sort of blowout.
too. Okay.
Yeah, I think he's figuring they're fast enough that sacking will work out as a strategy. I don't know whether that's actually been the case, even though it has been with all the other teams. This is a very fast team they're playing.
Yeah.
Although Plaster Hippie is already up about 6 seconds. Up 6 seconds and down 6 pieces. So.
Oh, and he had to push d3, so now the knight gets in too. Which actually is not that good because now BMW is going to lose the queen to a knight fork.
Indeed. With check, no less.
Yeah.
Maybe even knight c4.
Yeah, knight c4 would have been strong.
Just to vacate e3 for the queen.
Yeah.
I like this bishop move. That's very nice. Trade in this discovered check if the knight moves away.
Yeah.
Plaster Hippie is winning a lot of pieces at chess though.
Oh, but his opponent somehow has an extra queen. I wonder where. Oh,
knight takes b2 would have been.
Oh, that was
checkmate.
mate 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll find one of the mates.
Bishop at e3, I guess.
And queen e1 check first, and then bishop d2.
Yeah, that works.
Also, we must note, they're not even up on time anymore. slowWifi is doing a really good job of putting pressure on BMW, forcing them to spend time to defend.
Hung the queen. I don't think that was a great idea.
Instant karma. I will stop talking now.
Wi-Fi going all in, trying to create weaknesses around the king. Knight takes rook, I assume.
Yeah, or he might go knight at b4 check. Just an extra check to force the BMW to give the rook and also vacate the a3 square for a potential queen drop.
Yeah, I don't really see a queen coming. Oh, and gmbmw starting to attack.
Here's the problem. slowWifi mates with a knight and or a queen. Yeah, he has forced mate now. BMW cannot stop this.
Yeah.
Oh, but they're down on time. Wait. We're up on like 1 second. I could have sat for it.
The score is now 2-1, favoring Plasterhippytwitch.
Okay, interesting result. Oh, Plasterhippy can now take the knight and push d6. That's a really powerful pawn on d6.
Yeah, getting in on the dark squares. Now knight would win a
queen.
queen.
Now you can even sit for the knight.
Yeah, it's pinned. Oh, that was a bad decision. I would have sat for that for sure.
Oh, well now if he gets a bishop to drop on c5, that could be potentially very annoying to deal with. And Jim, instead of helping Plasterhippytwitch, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. Yeah, I thought he could have played queen takes pawn one move earlier, but this is fine too.
Instead of continuing his attack, he sort of trades pieces to help BMW get mate.
Yeah, that's great coordination on their part. My score is now 3-1, favoring Plasterhippytwitch.
And Plasterhippy once again sacks on f2, and
this is the wrong lesson for the viewers.
He's getting rewarded for his great decision making. I meant every word of that sentence, of course. Now,
Wi-Fi is getting in on the castle's king.
However, he gives up a knight, which gives Plasterhippy a lot of pressure here.
Does, yeah.
So both of the black players really want a rook. That would help them a lot in their attack.
That seems like a free bishop. Okay, traded queens. I see.
Yeah. Also, he just walked into mate without it too. So
yeah. Score is now 4-1, favoring Plasterhippytwitch.
Knight a5. That's interesting. never seen that before. Could push b4 and trap the
I've
knight.
seen it. The knight is out of the game, so it is rightly ignored by his opponent.
And now the bishop is trapped too.
Yeah.
Very strong chess from Plasterhippytwitch.
Yeah.
Oh, now a knight mates for him, so
Smothered
he'll just
mate.
take the one on c3.
He has 2 different knights to take. There we go. Great job.
Wow. They're starting to pull away.
They are.
Looking pretty
Our
even in the
score is
beginning.
now 5-1.
Yeah, only 11 more wins and they'll clinch the match. To be fair, we're not at the halfway point yet.
We are not. And we have seen some comebacks in other matches.
Oh yeah, there were a lot of 11-9 comeback. There was a lot more than I thought there would be. I was really impressed by all of them. Okay, BMW's queen and knight are forked, so he chooses to ignore it, which makes a lot of sense. And now Plasterhippy needs...
Oh,
he could take on h3 actually. Rook takes h3, king takes, and then knight at f4 check. And that probably leads to mate. I don't know if he'll see it though. Yeah. So this actually doesn't lead anywhere. Yeah. This doesn't lead anywhere because the queen covers the g3 square. Oh, but he
no, rook takes pawn. Rook takes pawn is mate.
Yes. He
does not see that chess tactic again. This is a puzzle rush tactic. Rook takes, pawn takes, queen over.
He gets really lucky because his queen covers the f7 square, so he's not immediately mated.
Yeah, this smothered mate doesn't work. Queen in.
Oh, but slowWifi has a smothered mate idea of his own. He's threatening queen at g1 right now, and knight takes f2 could mate. Oh, and they resign. Oh, because we're down 20 seconds.
Hey, okay. Joey.
Oh, Joey. Okay, so they repeat the exact same opening and they'll attempt to produce a different result. Plasterhippy is allowed... Oh, that's an interesting idea. Knight takes h2 to win a pawn. Sure, you'll approve of that one. Oh, and he can even... Oh, very nice. What if, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but if he blocks on f2 like he does with a knight, then Plasterhippy could even take on g2 and win more pawns.
gmbmw would like some diagonals.
Oh. He might even like that queen if he takes the bishop on f3.
I think he would love the queen.
Bishop takes h7 is a good move, opening the g6 square for a knight drop. Now pawn mates, so he can just take a pawn.
And there's a pawn. Nice play.
Very clean.
Our score is now 6-2. Favoring Plasterhippytwitch.
Okay, and the colors have reversed once again, so we see the same openings. Oh, he sacks on h7. I like it.
Plasterhippy finds the place to sack every game.
He really dislikes his king's bishop. Oh, but now queen h... If no trades come, queen h5 is just mating, so all BNW has to do is sit.
And he's up 6 seconds. So I think
very nice. Sit. Yeah, if you put the bishop on h3, then he could bring his queen back into the game.
Yeah.
But also,
better.
Hard to decide how to save this king on e4.
This is quite a net, though. I mean, I don't really think that king is going anywhere.
Yeah, normally with these positions, the king's usually on e8.
I would just take that, yeah.
Yeah, he takes on e5, but... Okay, well now he has a pawn, but he even had mate without the pawn. Could push like f3 and g3 and then queen h2. So I don't... Oh, I see.
That should be safe enough. I mean, maybe 2 rooks would give him trouble, but apart from that.
Yep, knight e2 coming up. Oh no, got the prediction wrong. Also mates.
It does, and our score is 7-2, favoring Plasterhippytwitch.
And they're once again repeating the same openings. Oh no, Plasterhippy played e5 this time. So now he gets really strong control.
That often happens when I play a series against a player, especially a weak player, is we find an opening that we both like, me because it's winning, and them because they don't realize it's winning. And we'll just play it over and over again.
Yeah. I find that too. I think it's true at any level, like especially when you're the stronger player and you're playing against someone weaker, you can find openings that they rely on, or their pet openings, and every single opening will have a way of playing into it that makes it
Plasterhippytwitch is actually down time, but queen h5 maybe to get the queen to h6.
Well, that could be a bit scary because of some pawn at d2 ideas, but it probably works. Plasterhippytwitch right now wants a knight and a pawn. He's not getting the pawn or the knight.
Maybe just bishop at h6 to leave room for a knight.
Yeah. Oh, he's gonna drop a new bishop on f6. Okay, that's very. That works too.
Bishop guards a lot of these key squares.
Oh, but queen at e5 is a nice move. Now he needs a knight on e4, but he didn't take the knight, so he's not getting one.
And gmbmw is actually in trouble because he was working real hard to feed his partner the pieces they thought mated, and then they didn't.
Yeah, this is one of those intermediate level concepts where like you see your partners attacking and you really, really want to get them the pieces that they need, so you sacrifice your whole position to them. And
yeah, that's one of
a lot of times it's not worth.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves. When I have partners who like I won't ask for anything, and they will kill their position to get me something that I don't need and I don't want, and then they will blame me for the loss somehow.
Oh yeah, that last part is.
I just like saying. That's why I like saying, play your game. Don't worry about me. Don't need anything.
Yeah. The better you get at Bughouse, the better you can be. Like very, you'll be able. You can be very self-sustaining. You don't need. You can make really good use of your pieces, and you only really need to ask for like one or two a lot of the times.
Yeah, I only ask for pieces at rare critical times, not like every single move. Our score right now, by the way, is 7-3, favoring Plasterhippytwitch.
And now we'll see a trade of knights for queens. He didn't drop the knight on f7. Wow, okay. Very interesting decision by slowWifi9. Perhaps trying to hold a knight because it now mates for Plasterhippy.
Does.
Bishop takes f7 is a nice move, giving him more control of the light squares.
gmbmw is still going for that knight.
You could also go for the one on c3 by playing queen at b4.
Yeah, that probably would have been easier.
He now realizes this and drops the pawn.
Focus to a different knight.
Close one. Good effort.
Oh, and he finally gets the queen to b4. Time is even now.
Oh, this is perhaps the most even game we've had so far. Wait, oh, I see what's happening. Oh, and d7. He should have anticipated this move, so...
He should have. It's made him one.
It's a good fight. Yeah, a lot of times when you're trying to sit, or you're trying to sit to hold a piece, you always have to watch out for those spite checks.
Yeah, you should be planning... You watch out for spite checks and be planning what you're going to do. Okay, knight now wins the queen.
There are definitely some creative spite checks.
You just grab the pawn.
Pawn h6 is not that good of a move. It sort of helps white to accomplish their plan without really doing anything for black's position. He could even have taken the bishop on d6 and dropped the bishop on e5 to win the g7 pawn.
Yeah. Maybe knight takes bishop, then bishop takes f6, like that.
Yeah, that's what I might do. Bishop at b3 is interesting. Just trying to just make his king safer, so he'll never risk getting attacked. And now since he's holding so much flow, BMW is able to get in his own attack. You can see that he would really value a rook, so he gets him something that looks like a rook.
Really hard to not get mated with.
Yeah.
Not only that, he has a knight for h6.
He really actually, he's just mated. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was gonna say if he didn't have those two knights. Yeah, queen at f4 would be the way to get the queen out of the way, but then knight at h6 is still just mate.
Oh, this is a good try though. Unfortunately, he's down too much time, and the bishop guards c4. If he were up time and he could get a few pawns, like pawn at a3 followed by pawn at b4, it'd be interesting.
Yeah, if he were trying to go for the threefold repetition tricks, he would probably need a bishop for a bishop at a1 and pawn at b2. So he'd need like 2 bishops and 2 pawns.
Yeah.
And even then, white can probably escape to the e file. Just run right and be safe. BMW is just sitting here because he sees a pawn on f6, is unsure how to deal with it. Or there's not really ways to stop me.
Or it's just the fact that he's up 10 seconds and his partner mates if he does nothing.
It's an excellent observation. Once again, Plaster Hippie is playing with bishop odds. Somehow the bishop comes back, so maybe it's just a long-term trade.
Hey, Greens 2847. Thank you so much for the raid. Really appreciate it. Give you a shout out.
Oh no. And Plaster Hippie doesn't realize that he needs to hold a rook to stop his partner from getting mated.
And
now
they're
pawn mates
down
first.
10 seconds on mates, and it is coming. I still have a comfortable lead though, with a score of 9-4 favoring Plasterhippytwitch. So how was your stream, Greens? I hope it went well. You were playing chess. Those who don't know, this is Bughouse. And I often play Bughouse myself. I'll be playing Bughouse in about 2 hours for my usual stream. But right now we are watching and commentating on the Bughouse World Championship. In the commentator booth, we have 1800 strength, who is far more than 1800 strength. Forcing a queen. gmbmw needs to get some tempo though. That's a creative way to get tempo. I like it. I think it works.
Yeah, that should mate. Bishop takes d3 now, and if king takes the knight at b4, we'll cover all the remaining squares. So yeah, he'll have to run to b3, and then probably bishop at c4, and then knight at c2. Okay, yeah, everything should mate. Actually, this is a bit risky. Now the king could run all the way up to c6.
Yeah. A little bit risky.
Oh, sure. He might not have mate anymore. It's very easy to mismate.
Partner probably has mate though.
Yeah, his partner's opponent.
Oh yeah.
And what a turnaround as both kings race up the board, but one of them might get mated and the other one won't.
Very nice mate by heijergden and a very nice king walk by slowWifi. So our score right now is 9-5. Favor and Plasterhippytwitch. Oh, Chewy is getting concerned. I see a nut like this in the chat.
Yes, it's always there's a familiar sensation when you see that you have a really obvious mate, but you just botch it.
Made him one.
Here plus, yeah.
Bishop G4, and he finds it.
Very nice. White made a mistake in that game by moving the rook to G1, which sort of made it a lot harder to defend the key square on F2. Oh, and now they finally changed their openings. Plasterhippytwitch does not sack on F2 anymore. I wonder what caused that change. And we also have a change of openings on this side as well. They're playing an exchange French now, instead of the usual E6, D6 lines.
As a trained economist, I find that people respond to incentives. So sometimes I incentivize my partners not to sack. If they sack over and over again in a series, and it ends up putting them in very bad positions, then I'll say something like, if you sack on F2, I will immediately resign.
That's a strong incentive.
And usually that aligns our incentives together.
It's very creative. I'll try that out next time.
Oh, could have played knight takes b5 and win a piece.
Yeah. Definitely could have. White's taking on f6 there was a mistake because the bishop on d4 is really strong.
Is the threat here. Instead, he's gonna work a heavy, taking the rook.
Yeah, he's gonna do that.
Ooh, I was taking the rook.
Trade of queen for 2 pieces. So now BMW is safe, and also his opponent or his partner will get extra material to attack with.
Yeah.
That queen trade isn't even necessary. The bishop on e4, the bishop on e4 might even be stronger than the queen on d3. So, okay, so Plasterhippy tries to hit the g2 square, which is one of the main ways to attack a Cathode king.
Yeah, a rook also mates for him, and he can wait for it. He's up 4 seconds. Rook is forced.
Oh, how convenient. Oh, except that's a bit suspicious. Fortunately, his king will be safe on e2, so he runs out of pieces to attack quite quickly.
They are down time now, though. So Plasterhippy is not going to get to wait for the rook. Maybe just bishop at h6, something like that, to attack the knight. Oh, that's creative. He's just going to win a rook for his troubles. Yeah.
And he doesn't give a knight too, so slowWifi won't get extra checks, even though the checks don't really mean much.
Well, he did get one knight, but he didn't get the second one.
So now the strategy will change. He doesn't really need to sack the queen for the rook anymore, and he can sort of slowly choke out, or not, and slowly stop the flow of materials. So heijergden does not have any moves left.
Now a queen mates.
Whoa!
Oh, now a rook mates.
That looks a bit suspicious.
Oh, yeah. That's trouble. Knight can take that. I would have liked, knight to d16.
Yeah, so now he has to run to f8. Oh, or he just mates him because they're uptime. But if the king ran to h8, there was rook at g8 check, and rook takes g8, knight takes f7, and that was a nice mating idea.
Yeah, smother mate on the other board.
Mm-hmm. Well, the king can take the pawn on h7, and there's knight at g5 at the end. It's like the 2-knight smothered mate.
Yep.
Anyways, now they've seemed to have... It feels like they're playing the openings pretty much the same way as they have since the start. Oh, and Plasterhippy goes in.
The Plasterhippy board.
Without a second thought, just gives the queen away.
Luckily, his partner is fairly safe. The queen is doing a good job defending.
No, his partner was mated if he took on f3 first.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, no,
Ooh,
not so
no,
sure.
what?
Oh,
No,
yeah,
he was
so
mated.
still
He was
mated.
mated in one because of the pin, and he still made it.
Yeah. Someone got a little too sack happy there.
Our score right now is
Let's see
12-6, favoring Plasterhippytwitch.
So they just need 4 more wins to secure this match. BMW is stacking on a lot of diags around his king, although the G7 score is a bit open for the knight. Potential knight check. And he finds it. So now knight takes f5 is would have been the better way to do it.
Well, that leaving h. Oh.
Yeah, so now he misses that the bishop's defending the h7 square, which is the point. If he traded off that bishop, he would have that extra opportunity. Although it's not over yet. He can still take on f6, drop a new knight on h5, and do similar things. Meanwhile, how's the other board looking? Plasterhippy is relatively safe. So with this rook and maybe another knight, it might be a different story. Bishop on g5, that's a decent move. It could have been countered by pawn at f4.
I don't like that bishop taking the pawn. Didn't really do anything.
Yeah, he could trade bishops.
Knight is not good. A knight for d6.
Yeah.
I don't see a knight available.
Fortunately, slowWifi already has all 4 knights on the board, so he won't be getting a 5th one.
Also, fortunately, Plasterhippytwitch is up 8 seconds, maybe 9 seconds.
Yeah.
And so he's going to get a chance to consolidate. And he can just take the knight.
Yeah, he can just take everything.
Drop more pieces in the king first. Get more pieces on the board, makes sense.
Oh, but now he can't take the knight, so that was a big mistake.
Yeah. But that's okay. Now the knight is out of the action now, so no big deal.
Now he could even sack on d3, or he chooses not to because slowWifi doesn't really have any way to defend it. And he mouse flips rook d1. Maybe. All of a sudden we can see they used their 8 seconds of time advantage and they converted it into a winning position on both boards.
Yeah.
It was before they were both getting attacked. It's a good conversion. And now, if Plasterhippy trades a rook for gmbmw, then rook at d1 is pretty strong.
It is, yep.
Oh no, he hung his queen. How could he do that?
Did not hang his queen. Rook at b8 is a mate threat.
Yep. So he decides to take the bishop to get out of that one, but all of a sudden now it's his queen that is hanging. Or that will be lost. Oh, actually no, it's the queen on the other board that was just captured.
A lot of queens trading.
Yeah.
You gotta take with your c-pawn. I think he's still safe enough.
Yeah,
although if the king moves to... Yeah, so... heijergden is fairly dead.
Yeah.
Oh, you see it?
He could have a discover check by taking the rook on e4, and that would be responded with by a check on d6.
Yeah.
It's not looking good.
It was a race to see who could checkmate from that team.
Yep. What is knight a6?
Our score is 13-6.
Knight a6 is really clever, actually, because he allows him to develop the bishop. You really don't need to take that knight. It's not really... It feels like a waste of a tempo if you just ignore it. But he's able to get some pieces out, at least, although with this last move, weakens the dark square, so Plasterhippy is probably looking to sack on f7. Oh, and he doesn't, so it's a good choice.
A remarkable restraint for a sack sitter.
Indeed. Those dark squares, though, he could drop a pawn on d6, for example, and he can get a lot of positional advantages from there. Also, BMW's last move he missed a free knight on f5. That's a very common lot of times people when they're first starting out, or like when they're learning how to play chess. No, just kidding. I won't do this. I won't do it like that. But yeah, one of the big points in Bughouse of pushing the D pawn is that your bishop will cover the f5 score, so they can't do a knight drop because knight drops on f5 are really annoying to deal with.
And Plasterhippytwitch has given up queen for some tempos.
He gets excellent dark square control. Yeah, bishop c5 here, and then threatening something on e7. It's really hard for him to defend the dark squares. And yeah, he has an extra queen, but what can a single queen do for defense?
Give up that bishop. Don't like that.
Oh. It's okay, he still has 2 rooks and an extra bishop and an extra knight.
He does.
Plasterhippy would really like a bishop to cover the king's escape, so then he can drop a rook on e8 and checkmate. Or not. I wonder what he's going for with this move.
He's just forming a maiden net for that king.
He's actually, his own king is relatively well covered because the bishop on c5 will cover any knight a3 checks. Oh, and right as I say this, he moves his bishop away, but even then, it's still really safe.
Knight a3 is fine.
Yeah. Oh, actually, slowWifi had an interesting idea with queen at g8 instead of promoting, and they could take on f7 and then promote. Oh, nice.
Our score right now is 14-6. Keep in mind that this is first to 16 with a win by 2 condition, so perhaps 2 more games here.
This may be the last 2 games of this very interesting match.
Oh, he gets the rook file.
Yeah, you usually, whenever you castle your king, you really like it when the opponent opens the f file for you because that's where your rook wanted. Your rooks like open files, so it doesn't even have to move to get an open file. That's the best possible outcome.
Yep.
And I don't like that move. Also, a lot of times attacks work because you have a pawn on f7 that blocks your king from escaping. So if you get rid of that pawn, your king can run to f7.
Forgot about the pin.
Yeah. Oh, and now he's threatening mate on f2. How do you stop that?
The answer is not by being down 20 seconds.
Oh no, yes, he finds the only way to run his king out. But now queen f1 check even is pretty strong. Oh, that's a very nice move. If king takes d2, there's e1 queen, right? But if knight takes d2, there's also e1 queen.
Yeah.
And both of those lead to mate.
Yeah.
And if king b1, there's also e1 queen, so you can just promote e1, pre-move e1 queen.
Well, if the king moved over, I think d1 queen was a little bit better, but yeah.
Yeah, that's true. If he had 0.2 seconds left on his clock.
Rather than being 10 seconds up.
Yes. Score is now 15-6 in favor of gmbmw and Plasterhippytwitch. And what is
gmbmw pre-moved, hanging his bishop on a6, assuming the knight was going to go to a6 instead of c6.
Based on what I've seen in his both games, this is not an unexpected behavior. By any means. Plasterhippy hangs a pawn on c7. In return, he traps the bishop. Okay, so now slowWifi gets the knight that he was sitting for. But he sat so much that they're now down 6 seconds. So will he get more material? Does not look likely. Not. Oh, and that's a mistake.
Oh, he's just given up all of his attacking pieces. They're trading them away.
Plasterhippy could even drop a... Oh yeah, Plasterhippy can drop a knight on h3, and then if he takes to another knight on f3 would be lethal. not looking good for
Yeah,
the
just
team
looking
that's
like
trying to save.
this will probably be the final match.
Yeah.
Trade
Oh,
on
and here
off.
knight at h5. And knight at h5 is a really annoying move when you have a bishop that's hitting the h7 pawn because
Yeah,
then
because
you
if
move
rook
your rook to
overs, you can
g8.
take it.
Yeah. A lot of times that's why if you see an open bishop on d3, you really want to try to block the diagonal by dropping something on e4 or something.
So if knight takes queen, now you have knight takes e6. And then you vacate g7 to throw some checks in.
Oh, yeah. And with the inevitable queen trade that's coming on the other board, bishop at h6 is.
I don't think he needs the queen trade. He
Something
has
like
knight at h5 would have led to mate in itself.
Oh no, the king can. The king might be able to run to f8, e8, d7.
No,
C8. No, I guess.
I think he could have done knight at h5, and
King
then,
f8.
well, if king f8, you drop a pawn, then take the rook, and you
Yeah,
have
and
a
then
good
king
attack.
e8. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's probably leads to mate too.
This is GG's.
Oh,
Hey,
famous.
Ubif the Baramain. I am not playing right now. I'm commentating. The match for commentating has just ended. This was the Bughouse World Championship Final Four in the under 2000 section, and the final score was 16-6, favoring the people who just jumped in the chat here, gmbmw and Plasterhippytwitch. So congratulations to you guys for progressing to the finals. The other teams, slowWifi9 and heijergden, will be competing in the consolation bracket to determine who is third and who is fourth. So both teams will be continuing to play another match. That's annoying. Let's get back here. The GmbMW jumped immediately to a bullet match. Oh, scary snakes. Unfortunately, 1800 Strength has already updated the bracket.
Fortunately.
So thank you so much for joining me for commentary. In the commentary booth with 1800 Strength. I think his Twitch is 1800 Strength with 2 underscores. Is that right?
Yeah, that is correct. And thank you for having me, Chuck.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining me in the commentary booth. Also, one of the participants, Plasterhippytwitch, has a Twitch. So you can check out Plasterhippy at the following location there. I'm going to find someone to raid at this point because I will be streaming again in about an hour and a half, my normal Wednesday night stream, where I'll be playing Bughouse myself. Let's look for someone to raid. I'll probably raid Joe Bruin, but let me check real quick to see who's in the chess category. The other finals team has yet to be determined, but let me check the bracket. Oh, it is Czech for Chess and Darvaki versus Shuvalov and Artem Sadovsky. And Shuvalov is, I believe, a candidate master, and Artem Sadovsky is an international master. Czech for Chess plays a lot of Bughouse. So yeah, that other match should be an entertaining one. It will happen at 10 a.m. on Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope to cover that match as well. Hopefully some of you can join me for that coverage. And we have a bunch of open section matches coming up. On Saturday at 7 p.m. we have my fellow commentator 1800 Strength and Abby Kowski versus Katask and Jeffrey Jiang. Any predictions on that match?
Oh no, we will be really happy to get a single point.
Okay. The mission is to get a single game off of them. Katask and Jeffrey X are very overpowered. Jeffrey Jiang is a strong grandmaster. Katask is theoretically an FM, though everyone who sees him play claims he must be a GM. So yeah, that should be fun to see. And at 8 p.m. on Sunday, we have Return of the Liger and Clock King Switcher versus Chicken Cross Road and Helm's Knight. Let me see. I think there's a match on Friday as well. Oh, on Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time, we have Blitz Bullet and 12 Teen versus Little Plotkin and Gulamali Rises. That should be a very interesting match. I don't think there will be a clean sweep. I think
that one will be close.
That will be competitive. Yeah, so thank you everyone for joining me. Again, we're looking for someone to raid. If anyone has any suggestions, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, we'll probably raid Joe Bruin. Oh, wait, there is someone streaming 4-player chess here. So maybe we will raid. Oh, there's 2 people streaming 4-player chess. Okay, so let me pick one of them. There's one that has 26 viewers and one that has 5 viewers. I guess we'll check out the 26 viewer guy. Let me see if either of them has ever played before. But yeah, we're really looking forward to your match in the future, Cabbage. Okay, so one of these guys has a lot of followers. One has very few followers. So maybe we should raid the one with very few followers.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, thanks everyone for watching. If you haven't followed yet, appreciate a follow. Get notified of my future streams. I'll be streaming in an hour and a half, a bunch more Bughouse myself, and we'll be covering the Bughouse World Championship as we enter the finals for the under 2000 section, and the open section continues to play out in the top 8 double elimination. When you get to this other streamer, does he stop playing 4-player chess? Would be unfortunate. Let me see what's going on here. Oh, it looks like he is not playing 4-player chess anymore. So maybe we will undo this raid. And maybe we will raid the other guy instead, who has a lot more followers, but at least he is streaming 4-player chess.
Sounds good. Yeah, and there's one more.
now he's going back to 4-player chess. Hold on. Sorry to send you back and forth. I think they're actually playing together.
I think he friended someone to add them to the group.
Okay. We're going to raid this guy. They're starting a 4-player chess match amongst 4 of them, and it should be fun to watch. All right, well, thanks very much, guys. We will see you in an hour and a half. Bye, everyone.